Imagine waking up on a perfectly ordinary morning. The sun is rising over the Bay of Naples. The markets are opening. Children are running through the streets. Bread is being baked. Wine is being poured. It is a day like any other day in the great Roman city of Pompeii. But by this time tomorrow, this city, these people, these streets will be buried under 20 feet of volcanic ash, gone, frozen, erased from the world for over 1,700 years. This is the story of the last 24 hours of Pompeii, and it is a story that changed how we understand the ancient world forever. To understand the tragedy of Pompeii, you first need to understand what it was. Pompeii was not a small village. It was a thriving Roman city of approximately 11,000 people. Situated in the Campania region of southern Italy, just 9 kilometers from the base of Mount Vesuvius. It was a city of wealth, culture, and extraordinary beauty. Its streets were lined with shops, taverns, and bathhouses. It had an amphitheater that could seat 20,000 spectators. It had temples, gardens, and homes decorated with breathtaking frescoes. It was, by every measure, a city at the height of Roman civilization. And Vesuvius, the great mountain that loomed over the city, the people of Pompeii had no fear of it. To them, it was simply a beautiful, fertile mountain. They grew vineyards on its slopes. They had no word for volcano, no concept of what lay beneath the earth, beneath their feet. But the mountain had its own plans. It is the morning of the 24th of August, 79 AD. The city of Pompeii is alive with activity. The date is significant, just one day after the Roman festival of Vulcanalia, the festival of the god of fire, a fact that would not be lost on survivors later. In the early hours, there are signs, small, easy to ignore. Wells across the city have run dry overnight. Dogs are behaving strangely, agitated, refusing to eat. There are small tremors, but earthquakes were common in this region. 17 years earlier, a great earthquake had already shaken the city. The people of Pompeii had rebuilt once. They were not afraid of tremors. Around mid-morning, the harbor grows strangely quiet. Fish are washing to the surface of the water, already dead. The sea itself begins to pull back from the shore. And then, at approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Mount Vesuvius explodes. What follows is one of the most catastrophic volcanic events in recorded human history. The eruption column shoots into the sky at over 30 kilometers high. It is 100,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The sky above Pompeii turns black. The sun disappears entirely. For the first few hours, it is not fire that kills the people of Pompeii. It is the relentless fall of pumice stones, gray, hot rocks raining from the sky. They pile up at a rate of 15 centimeters per hour. Roofs begin to collapse under the weight. Many people flee immediately. They pour out of the city gates, heading south toward the sea. Others hide in their homes, in cellars, in temples. They believe the worst will pass. It will not. We know all of this because of one extraordinary man, a 17-year-old boy named Pliny the Younger, watching from across the bay in the city of Misenum, 29 kilometers away. He would later write the only surviving eyewitness account of the eruption, in extraordinary detail, in 2 letters to the historian Tacitus, letters that would survive for nearly 2,000 years. By midnight, Pompeii is unrecognizable. The streets are buried under 1.5 meters of pumice. Movement is almost impossible. Those who chose to stay are now trapped. Then, in the early hours of the 25th of August, something far worse than falling rocks arrives. A pyroclastic surge, a superheated wave of gas and volcanic matter moving at 700 kilometers per hour at a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius. It is invisible, unstoppable, and instantaneous. The people of Pompeii do not burn. They do not suffocate slowly. Modern forensic analysis tells us they die in less than a fraction of a second. Their muscles contract instantly in the extreme heat, locking them in the positions they were in at the moment of death. A mother shielding her child, a man covering his face, two people embracing. For 1,700 years, Pompeii lay completely buried, forgotten. The Roman Empire fell. Centuries passed. Civilizations rose and crumbled. And beneath the earth, Pompeii waited. In 1748, workers digging near the city of Naples struck something extraordinary. Walls, frescoes, streets, a city perfectly preserved by the very disaster that destroyed it. What archaeologists found was unlike anything in the ancient world. Not just buildings and objects, but life itself, captured at a single frozen moment in time. Loaves of bread still sitting in bakery ovens, political graffiti still visible on walls, a dog chained to a post, a child's toy, a half-eaten meal on a table. And then, the figures. In the 1860s, archaeologist Giuseppe Fiorelli developed a technique of pouring plaster into the hollow spaces left by decomposed bodies in the ash. What emerged were perfect haunting casts of the people of Pompeii, their final moments preserved for all of us to see. Pompeii endures as one of history's most profound stories, not because of the destruction, not because of the death, but because of what it gave us. A window, a perfect unfiltered window into what it was like to be alive in the ancient world. Not the world of emperors and generals and great battles, but the world of ordinary people, bakers and merchants and children and lovers. People who woke up on the morning of the 24th of August, 79 AD, with no idea that their lives were about to end and that their city would be remembered for all of eternity. Pompeii reminds us that history is not just the story of kings and kingdoms. It is the story of human beings living their lives, one ordinary morning at a time. And sometimes, against all odds, those ordinary mornings become extraordinary history.